There are going to be a time in our lives when we feel empty, when hope feels lost and it seems like we have been forgotten, feels we are useless. But good news is this: when we turn our heart back to God, when we return to place He calls us to be, He sends a Redeemer. He raises us up from our despair. Sometimes we have no power to stand up ourselves. We need someone to help us raise us up. Can you imagine what Naomi and Ruth's lives looks like when they return home? Their house had been sold and their field has passed into the hands of others. They had no house to live in, no land to work, to have their everyday food. They had dreamed finding new hope in the new places. If I go there, I have a new things. Better life will be there. But reality is not. Hardships behind the other place, and that hardship still follow them. They feel the same hardships and problem when they switch their places. And yet, despite all this, Ruth's response was simple. She focused on what she can do each day. She said, I must find the food for today, so I will go out and field and gather the grain that the harvest have dropped. Rather than worrying about tomorrow, she focused on what need to be done today. And under the scorching sun, Ruth worked diligently and faithfully. Fascinating stories come up after that. Among all the many fields, she just accidentally go into the Boaz field. It's by chance. Ruth encountered the moment when coincidence become destiny. Sometimes not coincidence. It's God's plan for us. Ruth just go one place, do her work there. But Boaz came in, saw her. Then he asked his servant, hey, who is this young lady? Boaz realized that, oh, she is Ruth. He said, bring her in. I will do something for her. When Ruth took full responsibility, not just to herself, but for Naomi too, the burden was too heavy for one woman to bear. But God, in His perfect timing, sent Boaz, not just a man of wealthy, he was a man of purpose. He was not just a provider, he was a redeemer that God sent for Ruth. A redeemer is not just someone who pulled you out of your situation, your struggle, but someone who shares your vision, who stands with you in the trials, and who walks with you toward the promise of God. A redeemer covers your weaknesses with the strength, your sorrow with hope, your emptiness with the purpose. For Ruth, Boaz didn't show up by chance. He came by divine appointment. That is what we're talking about. That is what we're looking for. I will tell you how God steps in our lives when life goes wrong. God will be faithful to send the right people into your life. People who wasn't just to help you survive, but help you thrive. People who won't just walk you out of trouble, but help you step into the calling God has placed on your life. A redeemer like the one God has sent us is someone who shares your vision for life, support you, and encourage you to walk the path you should go. Your spouse could be the redeemer that God sent you. Look around. Who is your person that God put you in your life to work with you, make you better? Your friends. We read how David was in the trouble and under the threatenings of death from King Saul. God sent Jonathan, Saul's first son. He stepped in between David and Saul, and Jonathan protected David, warned him Saul's plan, and helped him escape from the danger, life-threatening situation. That friend, God sent us sometime. Our co-worker can be like a redeemer to help us. Joseph found a meaningful relationship with the Pharaoh's cupbearer. That relationship become very connection. God uses Joseph to meet King Pharaoh. God sends someone to help us to bring His purpose to our life. That's how God works in us. That's why we're always looking for that moment. How God is working for us. Who is real, our spiritual redeemer for you and I. And how and when we could meet the one who restore our spiritual identity as a blessed one of Jesus Christ and God. Bible is clear. Jesus Christ alone is our ultimate redeemer. He paid the price for our sins and restored our lives through His grace. How can we meet the redeemer Redeemer in our life. Jeremiah chapter 29:13 said, "You will seek me and find me when you seek me with all your heart." Finding Him through all our hearts, He will come as our Redeemer. He will come in every single one of us at the moments we need Him the most. In your life, the moment that you need Him the most, the last time. When you leave everything in here, you are prepared to go in heaven. At the moment, He will come to you to help you, to take you in heaven. He promised in John chapter 14:3, "I will come back and take you to be with me so that where I am, you may be also." Our Redeemer will come